we've been head starting turtles at the Oregon Zoo since 1998. In fact, this head starting program started off in 1991, and it was started by the curator of reptiles at the Woodland Park Zoo in Seattle, Frank Slavens, and his wife, Kate Slavens. And in fact, Frank and Kate now live near Binge, about 10 miles further east down the gorge, and they still work with the pond turtles at Sondino Ranch, which is actually the biggest population of turtles in the gorge. And most of the turtles that we release in these different sites actually come from where Frank and Kate now live, and which is a site that's, the turtles actually live on a site that's owned by Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. So Frank and Kate were the first to, actually they discovered this population of turtles here, and at the time it was one of the only populations left in the state of Washington, so it was a great discovery. What they found though was that there were very few turtles, less than 100, and they didn't seem to be reproducing, so all the turtles were adults, but there were no juveniles. So they came up with this idea of collecting hatchlings each year, rearing them at the zoo through the winter, so that over the first 9 months of life they got to be much larger than the turtles that were in the wild and which were spent their first winter in the wild, when they essentially wouldn't grow at all. Because turtles when they hatch are about this big, about the size of a quarter. So if you raise them at the zoo for 9 months, they get to about the size of a 3-year-old in the wild. And we know that there's much less chance that they'll be predated upon, so they have a much better chance of reaching adulthood and then reproducing if you give them this head start at the zoo. And so that program, which started in the early 90s, is the program that's still going on. We joined the program in '98 so that we could increase the number of turtles that were being produced in partnership with the Woodland Park Zoo in Seattle. And in fact, most of the turtles that have been released from the gorge since '98 are ones that were reared at the Oregon Zoo. The Woodland Park Zoo is concentrated more on another population of turtles up in South Puget Sound. So we've, over that period of time from the early 90s, the population has grown from less than 100 to, what, around 1,000 or so now? Do you know what the latest numbers are?
For total?
Yeah.
For total turtles? Yeah, I would say it's right around there.
Like that. They're kind of hard to count.
Yeah, they are kind of hard to count.
And a couple of new populations have been established. So things are going very well on the numbers front. There are still some challenges, which we'll talk about in a minute. But that's what the zoo's been doing, and it's been a great program for us. And as many of you know, you can actually go to the Oregon Zoo and see the turtles that are going to be released the following year in the Turtle Conservation Lab in the North America area.